Not everything you see on the surface tells the full story. Some leaders show strength, seriousness, and loyalty to their country. But behind closed doors, things can look very different. Take Vladimir Putin, for example. He's often seen riding horses, giving powerful speeches, and showing himself as a strong Russian leader. But deep in the forest near the Black Sea, hidden from public eyes, there's a palace. A very big, very expensive, and very secret palace. It's said to be worth more than $1.4 billion. And it has gold walls, underground tunnels, its own ice rink, and even a private casino, all built in complete secrecy. How did something this huge stay hidden for so long? And what does it tell us about power and wealth in today's world? Let's take a closer look inside this mysterious empire. And if you enjoy stories about hidden luxury and real power, don't forget to subscribe. There's so much more to explore. The public image versus private reality. Vladimir Putin is known around the world as the strong leader of Russia. On TV and in photos, he's often shown in military clothes, fishing in wild rivers, or giving speeches about protecting his country. This image is carefully made to show him as a man of the people, someone who works hard and lives a simple life like many Russians. But in 2021, something changed. A group led by Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny released a video investigation. This video showed something very different. It claimed that Putin had a secret palace by the Black Sea, a place so big and so rich, it didn't match his public image at all. The palace wasn't just a nice house. It was a private kingdom, with golden chairs, Italian marble, giant gates, and armed guards. Navalny's team said it was paid for with secret money from people close to Putin. These claims shocked people all over the world. How could a leader who talks about national pride live in such luxury while many people in Russia struggle to make ends meet? Inside the palace. The palace isn't just big, it's massive. In fact, the entire estate is over 190,000 square feet. That makes it even larger than Buckingham Palace in London. But size is just the beginning. The moment you step inside, you enter a different world. The furniture is covered in gold. The floors are made of rare Italian marble. Every detail has been carefully picked to show wealth and power. There's a private movie theater with velvet seats and golden decorations. A huge wine cellar is stocked with the most expensive wines in the world. There are dozens of grand bedrooms, each decorated like rooms from royal castles. The ceilings are painted with detailed artwork, and the walls are lined with gold leaf and silk wallpaper. One room looks like it came from a luxury spa resort. There's a Turkish bath, a full massage area, and indoor fountains. Even the toilets are said to cost thousands of dollars each, not just because of the materials, but also the designs. Everything is meant to look royal, to feel special, and to stay private. The palace also has its own church, a music room, and a reading library. There are multiple dining halls, one of which looks like it could host a king and his court. Some reports even say the palace has a special room just for smoking hookah, decorated in Moroccan style. But this isn't just about comfort. It's also about control. Every window, every hallway, every gate is protected by high-end security systems. Cameras are hidden everywhere. No one gets in or out without permission. And that's because the palace is more than just a home. It's a symbol, a place where luxury and secrecy live together. So, how is all of this kept safe? That's where the underground section comes in. Underground tunnels and ice rink. While the upper floors of the palace are covered in gold and marble, what's hidden underground is even more secret and possibly more important. Underneath the palace, there are reports of a huge network of tunnels. These tunnels connect different buildings, secret rooms, and even lead to escape exits far from the main gate. Some people say these tunnels were built to keep the owners safe during an emergency. Others believe they're meant to hide who comes and goes from the palace. But that's not all. Deep below the ground, there's also an ice rink. Yes, a full-size indoor ice skating rink, hidden underground. Why would someone need a private ice rink under their palace? No one knows for sure. But it shows the extreme level of luxury that went into building this place. Next to the rink is something else unexpected, a private casino. With card tables, slot machines, and velvet furniture, it looks like a small version of a Las Vegas resort. There's also a spa area with saunas, pools, and massage room. These aren't just for relaxing, they're built to impress guests and keep everything hidden from public view. Even the air in the palace is controlled. There are special air filters to keep out any kind of gas or poison. Reports also mention bulletproof windows and walls that can block radio signals. This means that even technology can't easily spy on what's happening inside. Outside the palace, the area is guarded like a military base. Fences, cameras, watchtowers, and armed guards protect the land 24/7. Drones are not allowed in the sky nearby. Boats can't come close to the coastline either. Everything is built to keep this world hidden. A private world under lock and key. But how was something so huge and so secret ever built without the world knowing? How it was built. Building something this big and secret was not easy. According to reports and investigations, the palace was not built using Putin's name. Instead, it was made through a web of companies and people connected to the government and wealthy businessmen known as oligarchs. These are powerful men who made billions through oil, gas, banking, and construction, often with help from the state. One of the key claims made by investigators is that these oligarchs helped move money through fake companies and offshore accounts. Some of the funds were said to come from government contracts or businesses owned by the state. In other words, money meant for roads, hospitals, or schools may have been used to build a luxury home for one man. Construction began in the early 2000s and took several years to complete. Workers who helped build the palace said they had to sign strict agreements to stay silent. They weren't allowed to take photos or talk to the press. One worker said he was flown in by helicopter, blindfolded, and kept away from the main site until his job was done. That's how serious the secrecy was. But in time, some brave people started speaking out. One whistleblower named Sergei Kolesnikov left Russia and gave a detailed report about how the project was financed. He said he was once part of the money system that helped fund the palace, but left because it was wrong. His testimony gave reporters their first look into how the whole operation worked. Later, Navalny's Anti-Corruption Foundation released drone videos, blueprints, and financial records. These documents helped piece together the truth. They showed the full size of the property and the names of those involved in building and paying for it. But revealing this truth was risky. Many people who spoke out faced threats, jail time, or were forced to flee Russia. So the question remains, why build such a massive and hidden palace in the first place? Why, it matters. On the surface, this might just look like another story about a rich man building a giant house. But when that man is the leader of one of the world's most powerful countries, the story becomes something much bigger. It's no longer just about gold walls or fancy spas. It's about power, trust, and what kind of life leaders live while their people struggle. In Russia, many people face real problems every day. Wages are low, hospitals are underfunded, and schools often lack basic supplies. Some towns have poor roads and little access to clean water. For these people, hearing about a billion-dollar palace hidden in the woods is more than just surprising. It's painful. This palace shows a deep gap between leaders and regular citizens. It raises big questions. Where does the money come from? Who approved it? Why hide it if there's nothing wrong? And most importantly, how can a government say it cares for the people while spending so much on secret luxury? The palace also became a symbol for the fight against corruption in Russia. Activists used it to show how powerful people can take advantage of the system. It sparked protests across the country. Thousands of people marched in the streets, demanding answers and calling for change. Outside Russia, the story made headlines too. Governments, journalists, and human rights groups asked tough questions. Some called for sanctions on the people involved. Others used the palace as proof of how secretive and unfair the system has become. In the end, it's not just about Putin or a palace, it's about how wealth and power are used. About how some people live with everything, while others are left with nothing. This palace is a reminder of that divide. A golden building hidden in the trees that tells a much deeper story. This isn't just a palace, it's a message. A message about power that hides behind walls. About wealth gathered in silence. And about the people who dare to speak up, even when the truth is dangerous. Vladimir Putin's secret palace may be covered in gold, filled with wine cellars, and protected by armed guards. But no matter how deep the tunnels go or how tall the gates are, the story has now come out. Thanks to brave reporters and whistleblowers, the world knows what lies behind those locked doors. That's why this matters. Because even the most hidden secrets eventually rise to the surface. If you want to learn more about the hidden lives of the world's richest and most powerful people, make sure to subscribe. More untold stories are coming soon.